Hey everyone. Okay, so Angie Bloom, holistic wellness coach, and also Psych-K facilitator. I take an integrative approach into healing your life, your body, your soul, your heart. So I wanted to pop on again. I had a few questions about what Psych-K is and what actually a session looks like as a facilitator. And Psych-K is an incredible approach to transforming stress and really, truly, finally changing unhelpful thinking patterns to just make easier and rapid, long-lasting results and change in your life. It's important to know that Psych-K doesn't change your brain. It's really, truly non-invasive and sometimes requires less sessions than, let's say, traditional coaching, which tend to work more with the conscious mind. Psych-K works directly with the subconscious mind, which is on autopilot, and our behaviors when you go brush your teeth or when you walk into the kitchen or when you turn off your alarm clock, those are all behaviors that are surrounding you. Well, most forms of therapy and a lot of coaching work that I have done to date has worked a lot with the conscious mind. So here's why I absolutely am fascinated by Psych-K, because recent studies have shown that 95% of our day, we are directly acting from our subconscious mind. This is incredible to think about when you're working on yourself and where you might have been working with, let's say, affirmations, meditation, journaling, and when you say an affirmation out loud and it doesn't quite land for your body and nothing really happens, that's typically because you're working with 5% of your conscious mind, which is, most of your mind is ran by 95% of your subconscious, which is all of your programming. A lot of times I find within my holistic coaching practice is with affirmations, I have found that it can create a stress response within our bodies because we're telling our body to be this, but yet subconsciously we don't believe it or that we don't have the program to support it. So when we're looking at the subconscious behavior, it's important to look at, like, if you've ever used affirmations, if I move back to the affirmations and they haven't quite worked for you, this might be why. Our subconscious mind is on autopilot every single day. It's programmed prior to the age of 7 and also the last trimester when you're in your mother's womb. So during that time, we are in a development state where we operate in like this massive super learning fashion, absorbing absolutely everything we can from our environment. This state of learning, it happens so that we can upload huge amounts of information about how our world works and how things work, just behaviors, our caregivers, our siblings, our extended family. We start to learn and distinguish between helpful and a lot of times unhelpful behaviors, especially in social settings. It's fascinating to know that also recent studies have shown that our programs are basically running like 70% of negative or limiting beliefs within our state of being daily. So if you feel like you're constantly trying to create change or a habit into a more supportive way of being, or even a supportive way of awareness, and it doesn't quite stick, that or this might be why. I love Psych-K because it is arguably one of the quickest modalities that I have ever used within my coaching practice, my holistic practice. It's one of also the most effective that I have seen to date. As I mentioned, it's non-invasive and it doesn't necessarily require really long-term commitment. A lot of times results can be seen and felt very, very quickly, sometimes one session. Psych-K is used to make changes in your life by removing the limiting beliefs and limiting stories and all of those unconscious blocks and self-sabotaging behavior. One of my favorite techniques in a Psych-K session is called stress transformation, and it literally transforms the way your body reacts to a stressful or traumatic event that you have stored in your data bank or memories here. And when you're moving into the future, your stressful event that you were in or you experienced, you will perceive it as something similar in your future, although it happened in your past. So you will feel this as a trauma response, whether it's a big T or a little t trauma response. You'll have a strong memory where it is stored within the subconscious mind, and it remembers why it needs to protect you and keep you safe. That's why some of our behaviors don't support us, but yet our subconscious is outdated and it thinks it's doing a really good job at supporting us. I love the stress transformation because when you're working with a past memory, you're looking at the future of what you would like to experience as a result. So that stressful experience in, let's say, like your flight or fight response is what happens is it's no longer triggered. What this means is that it allows you to invite in calm, cool, and collected feelings and awareness when you experience a memory in the future, whereas you would have responded in a different way within that stress response is no longer triggered, and you really lean into being able to take action towards what you truly, truly desire from within. When I read the book, The Biology of Belief by Dr. Bruce Lipton, it was fascinating because one of the parts of the book, he was talking about how humans are not at the mercy of their genes, in that perception of the environment is what makes genes express themselves. It was incredible to read that part because he explains that our perception, the glasses in which we perceive the world, is largely influenced by the subconscious beliefs that were imprinted from the last or third trimester when we were carried in womb as a baby up until the age of 7. Psych-K is using a blend of kinesiology and NLP, so it is muscle testing, and it's used as a tool to communicate with your subconscious mind through a physiological response from your body. As a facilitator, as a certified facilitator, it's really incredible to also be able to facilitate this upon myself. I have incorporated so many balances that I feel need attention within my life, and I incorporate this as a standalone modality for myself. Our goal is to obtain within a session a whole brain integration process, and this includes certain poses and movement patterns which are demonstrated by myself or your Psych-K facilitator. And what that means is that that you want to make sure that the left and the right hemisphere here are both switched on and ready to integrate the new belief or transform the stress or uncomfortable emotions that have been attached by a certain trauma within your body. So when I am working with clients in a Psych-K session, I always ask for permission from the subconscious and superconscious. This is commonly known as the higher self, to ensure that I am working with you and what we are working on is safe and appropriate before proceeding with the belief change is known as basically a Psych-K session. We want to get that permission first and foremost. One of my favorite protocols is the transform the perception of stress into a state of peace. What this process does is it transforms the way the body and the mind react to stressful or even traumatic memories from your past or perceived events in the even in the present or future. So many times when we have experienced a stressful or traumatic event, our body, it remembers it. So if you are in a stressful situation in the future, you can have a response that is trying to do its job because the subconscious mind remembers and really truly wants to do its job in order to keep you safe. So you're going to have that fight or flight experience even though something that happened 20 plus years ago, which is massively in the past, but something in your future triggers that. And that memory and basically all your subconscious cares about is keeping you safe. So what I love about the stress transformation is that once the transformation is complete, the body no longer perceives the memory or that specific event as stressful, and the built-in stress response is no longer triggered. I love this because once you are no longer being affected by your past or by the past, that triggered memory, you are able to make massively big positive steps, incorporating new beliefs into your future and creating a new imprint into your life that surely supports you. Within a Psych-K session, we create also belief statements, and we simply state them in a positive and meaningful present tense. And this is what we want to imprint into your subconscious. So a well-formed statement will sound like, I bless and release all those who have caused me pain. Or another one that I love is, I recover from difficulties with renewed strength and determination. So within Psych-K, you want to remember that you always state it in the positive. And this is what I love so much about the process, is that we are never focusing on the past. We are focusing on the future. We don't live in the past, we look in the future. Once your Psych-K session is coming to a close, we take additional action steps. And this is what we have agreed upon as the client. And within our session, we simply take steps between the sessions to support the new integration of the new beliefs, to make sure that we are combining the conscious and subconscious that are now aligned towards this new future reality that will surely support you and you will experience every single day going forward. So if you are interested in booking a Psych-K session, you can find me at angiebloom.com or on Instagram, where I do most of my social media, __ Angie Bloom, all one word, _ for more inspiration, tips and tricks around holistic health and also the Psych-K work. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you guys next time.